Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Unbelievable. Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, that was my first sip. And I was just looking, I've been up for a little bit, so you know that I love you, man, if I'm waiting that long to take my first sip of coffee, that's for sure. What an absolutely gorgeous day. Just check it out. Just amazingly beautiful. Have a little bit of a breeze coming through. It smells phenomenal. And I love coming out here and having this kind of Texas warmth, heat, and get all this sunshine. It's really, really quite amazing. I hope wherever you are in the wide world, it is as beautiful as well. And happy hump day. It's Wednesday. That's right. And boy, guys, what a Wednesday we've got. Of course, we have been waiting on getting all these CPI numbers. Now the CPI numbers are out, but what's going on? It really blows my mind because in the CPI numbers, what we've witnessed is a 3.3% increase, of course, reported increase in inflation year over year. Now, the thing is this, the market is all excited and happy about it because I guess they were expecting a 3.4% increase, and that just 0.1% has sent them into just absolute ecstatic. And you're watching the Dow is up, everything's up. Hey, these crypto markets have absolutely bounced up as well. And what's going on? We're waiting on the Fed. Now, a lot of people are coming out there, in fact, a great percentage actually, that are saying, hey, we're expecting to see a pause. Now, if we get any kind of hint whatsoever that they're going to drop rates, or if they do drop rates, you can bet your bottom dollar, your last XRP, that it is going to be frenzy time and things are going to go wild in this market. But what I want to point out with all that is this. Do you see the disconnect, guys? Do you see the disconnect? Here we are watching an economy literally get thrashed, and yet a market that is excited as pie about, think about it, 3.3 year over year percent increase in inflation. And get this, we all know that is not even the real inflation numbers. I mean, when you think about it, these CPI numbers are not including food, they're not including energy costs or anything like that. And you know that you and I mean, we're feeling the pinch when it comes to our increased utility bills. Of course, when you're going to the grocery store, that's the real world inflation, isn't it? And think about this. You got all these major companies out there that are actually closing stores, closing restaurants, laying off people into the thousands. I mean, FedEx is doing a big layoff, all these other ones, and on and on and on. And yet, they're coming out saying, oh, the economy is so, so strong. What a load of hooey. The reality is it's a massive, massive disconnect. That's the evidence right there, guys. The evidence right there. The economy could go into the toilet and the market could literally send it. I'm telling you what. And that's why they've got a lot of people buffaloed. You can't believe what they're telling us out there of what to expect. Oh, where it's going. They want you and I to be out there and be, so fiscally responsible. Yet, do you realize the Federal Reserve is literally printing $1 trillion every 1 or 2 months, every 2 or 3 months, something like that. It's a phenomenal number, that's for sure. Every year, it's into the multiple trillions of new money coming onto the scene. And yet, somehow, some way, the inflation is going to come down. Not in your life, guys. And also, think about it in this capacity. We know that there's a massive de-dollarization going on right now across the wide world. And yes, you're watching, I've heard people say it this way, that the US dollar is the cleanest, dirtiest shirt in the pile. That's kind of how they say it. And I absolutely agree. Every one of these central banks is just literally adding more money to the global debt is off the scale, going higher, higher, higher. That's the only reason why they exist, is to inflate the whole thing to never, never land. And who pays for it? You and I pay for that, guys. Our kids, our grandkids pay for that. How? In the destruction of the purchasing power of the dollars that are in our pockets. And when you think about that, it's a form of taxation because they're literally pulling it in there and grabbing it by the fistfuls by destroying that purchasing power. I mean, you're taxed on what you earn. And in a lot of jurisdictions around the world with value-added tax, goods and services tax, whatever you want to call it, sales tax, you're taxed on what you spend. But that's not good enough for these central banks. Oh, no, no, no. We got to weaken their purchasing power, so that's another form of taxation, but it's one that they don't actually really see, except when they're at the gas pump, the grocery store, paying their utility bills. And then we'll turn around and we won't include those numbers when we calculate our inflation. And why do they do that, guys? Because then they can just turn on the taps for all their big bankster buddies and let the party go. And that's exactly why right there. It is all about control. It's all about power. It's all about just swaying that. It's all about keeping the thumbs down on the rest of us, guys, because the deal is this. How hard is it for a lot of people out there right now to insulate themselves against what they're doing over here? Pretty damn tough, man. When you figure that, a lot of people having to take 2 and 3 part-time jobs to replace the one job they lost due to all the stuff that's been gone on in this economy and things like that. And, then you see the turnaround of all of these major CEOs, and what are they doing? They're paying themselves bonuses into the tens of millions. And you got these politicians up here. If you want to talk about disconnected, have no clue, literally no idea what the average guy is facing, average girl is facing, and really don't care. Except when it comes to pumping up the market. Oh, this guy's a bad guy. Oh, this guy, and on and on and on. They're all a bunch of, phony baloney. It's all theater, and we know that it's all theater. And guys, the reality is, until we absolutely step up and get our voices out there and really start pushing the narrative that we are not going to take this kind of stuff flying down anymore, and we're literally going to actually utilize that thing, that one God-given thing that we have, is, the ability to get out there and say our piece, at least for now. And, one way to demonstrate that, of course, is to go out and vote. But the thing is this, most people don't even trust, get this, the confidence in the U.S. electoral system is at its all-time low. Most people don't even believe that their vote even counts. And maybe it doesn't. I really hope it does. But maybe they're right. I really don't know. But the thing is this, and you got them all going out there. It's not an election. It's a selection, right? And stuff like that. And so when you think about that, that is where you're seeing the major disconnect now. If you have the ability to literally insulate yourself from this stuff, go out and do it. Like I say, get prepared. Have a little extra over here in the pantry and stuff that you normally use. And on top of that, look, get out. Like this dollar and the purchasing power that we are losing literally moment by moment, it seems, you got to insulate yourself from that. And this is where I see this digital asset space really, really, really being an absolute lifeboat for what's coming. And by the way, Larry Fink himself came out and he not too long ago said, hey, this digital asset space, it itself could represent a flight to safety in a crashing dollar, just like gold and silver does. That is big. And on top of that, what's happening to DXY right now, the dollar index, it is absolutely crashing. It's come right down. And this is where we're seeing a total reversal now. I guess we're going to have to see what, Jerome has to say to us when, he comes out there and they actually give, their Fed, briefing on all that went down. And if I'll tell you what, I suspect, now my guess is that we are absolutely going to stay where we're at. We're just going to be paused. We're not going to see an increase. But boy, if we even get anything as close to a hint of a decrease, I'm telling you, it is going to, people are going to love it. They're going to lap it up. The market's going to lap it up, like crazy. And that's what I think's coming. Guys, don't get discouraged when you see some of these assets that we're investing in this digital asset space, dip down there. Because look, we just saw XRP fall down to, I think, over the last few days, 45 cents? And here we are back up towards that 50-cent range, just like that. Guys, it is literally can change on a dime. Now, I have some dry powder. We've been saving it because I think we may even still see one last little dip down there, shake out every weekend. But guys, I absolutely believe they are going to send these markets. We are going to see something that I think will be the likes of 2017. It is just, heating up. And the compressed spring that this thing is under, man alive, wow. And we see something like that, I absolutely believe it could be life changing for folks. I am personally believing that. Judy and I, look, we don't just come out here and talk about it, man. We walk the talk, I'll tell you what. And that last dip, we certainly got in there and, met some accumulation goals. Well, we see another dip like that. And I think this will be around one of the last chances that we get like that. Then you had better believe we're going to reach some more of our accumulation goals. And we got out there and we really researched it. That's what I encourage you to do. I think it's going to be game on like Donkey Kong. Watch and see, guys, because they're saying one thing. Ooh, look at us over here. And they're doing something else over here. And we know that's the game they play, but it's watching them. It's watching them. Now, what is one of the big things they're ratcheting up right now? Well, of course, it's this whole, second, Bay of Pigs deal down there in the, with another Cuban crisis and all this kind of stuff. And apparently Russia's sending more ships down there and a nuclear submarine. And of course you got the U.S. down there and they're adding. I mean, it's just, guys, to me, that is nothing but a big distraction. Oh, let's keep them all paying attention over here while we just pull some strings over here. That's how I kind of view it, but we'll wait and see how it all turns out. But guys, don't lose heart. Just keep the focus. Stay strong. Don't let them shake you out. Don't let them FUD you out. Don't let them, manipulate and get you to be in fear and all that kind of stuff. Get out there. The best way I know how to deal with that fear, uncertainty, and doubt is to get the facts, Jack, and you go research it for yourself. And don't listen to what they say. Do what they do. That's what I watch what they're doing. That's how I like to say it. Well, guys, I'll tell you what. Hope you're having an absolutely fabulous day. And until later on when we have a tremendously great video for you, have a great one and take care.